Hello everybody, welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. Now, in the previous video, I reviewed my Tiger 1 and I think it's, looking pretty good. In today's video, we have the Tiger 2. And in this video, I'm going to be going around the vehicle. I'm going to be showing you all the little features that it has, and we're going to go into the crew positions. I'm going to show you how they work, and then we'll drive it around and we will fire the main gun, the 88mm. Now, this is one of my favorite projects because it allows me to take the hull of the Tiger 2 and build tank destroyers and tanks such as the Jagdtiger and any prototype tank that has the Tiger 2 chassis. I believe there is a prototype artillery the Germans were coming up with. Can't remember the name, but if I can find a picture, I will put it on screen. But what we're going to be doing today is just having a little brief look around as a showcase. And if you enjoy this video, please let me know and I will show more of my tanks that I have in my stockpile. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look at the front. It's very basic. So you have your tow hook points here, and you can see how thick the armor is because on the real tank you can see where the all sides are, which is this block here. You have your headlamp and you have an MG 42. Now, I know that the tank has 42s as machine guns. I would explain that there is only one MG 34 in this mod pack for the MGs, and it has a drum magazine, which is fine. But if you try and glitch weld it into a ball mount, the ball mount just spazzes out. It goes well in the turret next to the main gun, but it's going to be weird to have an MG in the hull, MG34 in the turret, and an MG42 on top. So I was like, you know what, I've just kept it 42s, so that's why there's 3 MG42s. So there's nothing else on the front. It's very bare bones, really. I hope you like the camo scheme. It's not an amazing camo scheme, but I did try my best to make something unique. The sides, as you can see, the wheels are kind of buckling under the weight. That's because I'm using kind of like an advanced version of the game to help with like lag issues. It works very well. It's just that the wheels just buckle under the weight for some reason. Nothing too amazing. On the sides, you can see the little hatch at the back of the turret. You can see where it hasn't been painted properly, but it's just, reasons that I can't do anything about that. At the rear, you've got your 2 exhaust pipes. I've had to take these blocks out because when you drop the tank, these blocks are, when you put it on the lift, the blocks are straight. So these are straight, but when you drop them, obviously, I want them to flip into this position. However, they get stuck in the blocks, which means the tank can flip over. So I literally just took the blocks out to allow these to rest in that position. And the left side of the tank is pretty much the same. You have a better visual of that. Looks pretty good, I think. The nice sunshine. I've kind of made it almost like a diorama. Just looking at church. Nothing too amazing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the top of the vehicle, and then I'll start moving into the crew positions. And as you can see, the wheels don't like the tank and it is moving on its own, but we won't worry about that. So I'm on top of the driver and co-driver's positions. They have a hatch each, they have a periscope each. The periscopes do not work because the way the mod works is that you have a second periscope that you would put underneath the block, and then you would connect them with the connect tool, and then you would literally use E, I believe, on them, and then you could look through them. Doesn't help when you're sitting in a seat, but hey ho. So I've just kept them like that. This one's at an angle because the co-driver would have a telescopic sight on the ball mount on the MG, which would mean that he wouldn't need to look dead ahead with his periscope, so he has it to his right, and the driver has only one facing forward. Nothing too amazing on there. We'll move up the turret, and you have the loader's hatch, his periscope. You have your little hooks to lift the turret up if you needed to off the vehicle, and you have the commander's cupola. These don't work again. If the periscope at the bottom worked, then that'd be perfect, but it doesn't work. And he has his 42 and his hatch that opens sideways. His opens forward, his opens sideways. We're going to go on the back of the engine deck. Again, you have your hooks if you wanted to take the top of the engine off, you just unbolt those little bolts there, and then you would take the top of the engine deck off to expose the engine. There are fans in here and here. When you turn the vehicle on, there is a seat block connected to the seat, turn connected to an engine, in turn connects to the fans and spins the fans. The fans don't do anything. There's no, cooling system or that kind of gubbins. It doesn't work that way. You literally just connect an engine to a seat, to some wheels, and the vehicle moves. The sprockets on the front don't actually work the tracks. The tracks are basically just kind of an invisible block, really. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help the wheels in any way. It's just kind of decorative and makes the tank look a lot cooler. That's it, really. There's nothing on the back. So what I'm going to do is we'll go to the commander's side first. We'll go to the loaders next, so I can load around. We'll then go into the gunner's seat, followed by the co-driver, and then the driver, because then I can drive the tank out and take you down that path. So let's do that. At the moment, I'm in the commander's position. I've kept the hatch open because one of the most annoying things in this game is hatches getting stuck. So for example, I have full-size blocks around the cupola and then half blocks for the cupola hatch. What it doesn't like is rubbing against each other. So what it does is if you close the hatch, it will just get stuck and won't open. So what I've done is I'm just going to keep the hatch open so I can show you all the cool shit. So he has two switches. He has the one to open and close his hatch, and he has another one to raise his seat. There you go. So he can look out, and he can use his MG using the W and S. I might update it so it's A and D, because at the moment A and D doesn't do anything, and it might help with tracking on targets. You can press left click, and you can fire at targets to your heart's content. That's literally all he does, commanding the tank. So what we'll do is we'll go inside. So we are inside the turret. So what you have in front of you is you have the gunner. He has this switch to activate the turret. You've got your little motor for the MG and some controllers. And these are the controllers for left click, right click for the main guns and the MG. So as you see, if I click left, it's that one. These are the periscopes I was talking about. They don't work. You have the gunner's little telescopic sight, the main breech, the 88mm. You've got the loader seat, and you have the ready rack of 8 rounds. The rounds are really big in this game, and they class as a block, 1 block high. So you can't have loads and loads of shells. So underneath the loader, there is a gap, so he can technically grab shells that are underneath, because I think there's a layer of shells underneath the turret basket. But I think there's 4 in there, and then there's 4 over here, and there's a couple next to the driver and co-driver. There's nothing really much apart from the commander. He's got his breech guard. That's all standard. There's nothing interesting on the commander's side, so I'm going to hop over to the loader side. Welcome to the loader side. Now, the loader practically has the same switches, which he does, as the commander. He has his switch to open and close his hatch. I have the hatch open because I know it's going to fucking get stuck, but he can also poke his head out so he can see and get a nice breath of fresh air, because I bet fighting in this fucking thing would be a nightmare, especially loading those 88mm shells. He can look around. Inside, there's plenty of room. You have your MG42 that he would reload. You have his periscope there. He has some ammunition ready available to him. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab around. So I'll grab one from the floor. Now, is it going to let me load this into the breach? It did. Cool, fantastic. So a round is loaded. Now that is basically what the loader does, I will move on to the gunner, and we will fire the main gun and the coax machine gun. Welcome to the gunner's seat. Now, the gunner has 2 new controls. He has the control to activate the turret, and he has a switch to activate the camera. So we'll activate the camera first, and you can see we are looking straight in the air. I don't know why. He has his breech next to him. There is a round loaded. We will fire the MG first. So if I get a good view of the MG. Perfect. And then if we show it here. I don't know where it's firing to. In the distance somewhere. It is firing because you can hear the sound going off. He doesn't really have much to his left or his right. He only has one switch, and we are going to activate that switch now. We can go up and down. You have two entities on this vehicle. You have the turret and the hull. The problem is, for some reason, the mechanics do not allow the two to basically move together. I am trying to move turret, and for some reason, it is not letting me. I bet if I move to the advanced display, the FPS got worse. Oh, there we go. Cool. So now I can move the turret left and right. Problem is, it's being a pain in the fucking ass. So I can try and bring it on to there. Oh, so we are dead ahead now. There you go. You can kind of see the MG firing in the distance. We have a straight gun, and that's really all the gunner does. We are going to fire the main round. Nice. I don't know where it went. Now there is a basket, as you can just see. Oh, I might be able to get a bit closer. There we go. So you can see the basket. I'm going to left click, and the round goes into the basket. Why? Because you don't want the round or the casing getting caught in the turret traverse, because you might crush it or you might damage the turret basket. You really don't want that. So that's the gunner's position. I will move on to the co-driver, show you what he does, and then we will finish off with the driver. And then I will drive the vehicle probably over by the church, and you can see how the vehicle moves, how it turns, backwards, forwards, yada yada. So welcome to the co-driver's position. Now he has really only, again, two main functions. His main function is the MG, so he can move the MG left and right, as you can see on the outside, and a little ball mount. He can move it left and right. He can't see what he's shooting at because the periscopes don't work, so he's just aiming at buckle. You can press the trigger and it fires just like that, and you could probably see what he's shooting at. Yeah, he's looking over there. Lovely. He has a seat riser as well, so he can rise his seat. He can look out on what's going on. Fantastic. If he wants to, of course. And he has the radio, so you can turn the radio on. Oh, fantastic. So he's the radio operator, so he would obviously man the radio. And as I said before, there are shells to his right and there are shells to the driver's left. That is literally all he does. That's all he does. Right, there's nothing else. You can see the back of the turret, and you can see where the driver sits. So we might as well just hop over there and finish off this tank review. Now, as you can hear, you have the two fans that are spinning because there is a block that's connected to the seat, connected to an engine, connected to the fans. So when you sit in the seat, you have smoke generators and you have fan spinning, which I think is pretty cool. So look at his plethora of controls. He has this hatch control, so he can close the hatch. There's the other ones. Open the hatch again. He can rise his seat as well, so you can see out as well, which is really cool. He has a switch for something. I cannot remember what that switch is for. I think it's nothing really. I can't remember. Or was it for the hatch? That's not for the hatch. He has his switch for his light, which is really cool. And those blocks on the right of the toolbar are to allow the vehicle to basically turn, and because there's different things, so when you turn, one block has to activate and another block has to activate when you turn right and stuff like that. So we will go hatch down for a minute and we're going to take the tank for a spin. So press forward. So I have moved the tank about, but I took it out of that spot so we can move now for a change. It's got some speed to it, bearing in mind that, you know, fully loaded this was probably about 70 tons, so not the lightest thing in the world. Turning's a pain in the ass. If you think, if I'm going at this speed now and then I stop to turn, it doesn't even want to turn, so that's great. We can open the hatch and we'll go up. There you go. So you got that lovely gun in front of you, and you could have the co-driver's head up, and you can have the commander up there, the loader up there. It's just the gunner that can't get out. So it's really difficult to turn this thing. As you can see with the little controllers on the bottom of the hotbar, when I try and turn left and right, they activate. I can go Alt Z and give you a nice little overview of the vehicle itself. And I think I did a pretty good job, to be honest. I think it's a really nice tank. And I just wish it just fucking performed a bit better, but what can you do? We'll go into the wheat fields and then we'll abandon the fucking thing because becoming a pain in the ass. I had to take those blocks off as well because as soon as I dropped it, they fucking started lagging out, so that's fantastic. We're in the wheat fields. And then you can go hatch down. And you can see all the cool stuff going on. And we'll get to about there. I think that's alright. We'll bring the hotbar back so I can see all my controls. Get the hatch off. And then we will close the hatch. And we will bask in the glory of the King Tiger. So guys, that was my review of my Tiger 2. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please let me know, because I have a lot of tanks in my backlog that need to be reviewed. I have loads that I really want to show you, and I keep making new ones every day and refurbing new ones every day. And I'm really excited to show them off because I think that these tanks are beautiful, in my opinion. To be honest, you may think differently, and I hope that you guys do enjoy them. I still hark back to that day I made that video with my top 10 tanks, and it got 6,000 views, which was a lot for me. And I don't know how I got them. One of them was a Tiger 2. So this is an updated Tiger 2. A very, very updated Tiger 2. More advanced than that one. That was awful. That was horrendous. But I had to start somewhere, and this is where I learn. And this is how far I've come with my tank design. So if you guys did enjoy, please let me know. If there's any tanks you'd like me to build and review them, I would happily do so if they're not too complicated, because I have a very simple mind when it comes to building very complicated tanks. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys. Thank you.